It may come as no surprise that the number of unemployed in 2009 reached the highest level on record at 212 million. An unprecedented 34 million people have lost their jobs since the onset of the crisis.
The increase that we've seen is the largest that we have witnessed since we began tracking these global and regional trends since 1991. And in some countries, we actually know the increase of unemployment is the largest they've seen since the Great Depression.
Developed economies and EU countries make up a small part of the global workforce, but accounted for more than 40% of the increase in unemployment since 2007. According to ILO projections, an additional 3 million jobs could be lost in the region in 2010. East Asia, led by a rapid improvement in the Chinese domestic market, saw only a slight increase in unemployment. Central and Southeastern Europe felt the most severe shock, with a 2 percentage point increase in its unemployment rate. But the crisis goes well beyond the unemployment numbers. In many parts of the world, people who lose their jobs simply cannot afford to be unemployed, doing any kind of work they can to survive.
With the economic crisis, we know that vulnerable employment makes up more than half of global employment. If you look at it from a different dimension in terms of working poor, we see that the crisis itself could push an additional 100 million people into the ranks of the working poor in the most extreme levels. If you look at the $2 per working poor line, that could be as much as 200 million.
The number of unemployed young people increased by over 10 million compared to pre-crisis levels, the largest hike since 1991. Many simply stay in school rather than take a chance in a discouraging labor market. And many older workers, having seen the value of their pension funds decline sharply, have no option to retire at this stage.
What we need to be looking at now as the economy is recovering, how do we stabilize the labor markets? How do we basically get labor markets to grow? So stimulus packages are going to be refocused in that direction, more so to help create decent and productive jobs, to try to even further reduce the levels of unemployment that we've been seeing globally, but more importantly to address the issues of vulnerable and working poor. The ILO has been at the forefront putting up a global jobs pact to try to give advice and support to countries to determine the best practices and the best ways forward